Glancing through goggles at the debris, Captain Olson saw the tail of the aircraft, which had settled against a snowy outcropping. He whispered into Korkala's ear, "MiG-25. What the hell is that doing here?" "Be ready," Korkala said, swinging his legs off the seat and moving toward the Soviet KGB officer. "Thank God we saw you," he said in Russian to the man, who stopped a few feet away, hands and bulky mittens at his side. Confusion on the Russian's face. His eyes shifted behind large goggles. The other three men started to approach, and the captain saw the hunting rifle for the first time at the side of one man's leg. "What are you doing here?" the Russian asked Korkala. "We're lost and running low on fuel." The three other Soviet officers stopped 10 feet away, hands in pockets, except for the man with the rifle, whose naked finger was pressed against the trigger guard. Something was wrong. The Soviet officer wasn't buying the story. Everything seemed to move in slow motion. First, the rifle started to rise. Then hands started coming out of pockets. But Korkala was the first to pull his 9mm handgun, his first shot entering the closest Soviet in the neck, bringing instant blood spurting outward. The next few shots struck the man with the rifle, first in the chest and then in the forehead. By now, the captain had rolled off the snowmobile and retrieved his gun from inside his coat, also a 9mm handgun. The next few seconds lingered. Bullets flew in each direction. The cold air filled with clouds of gunpowder. When silence finally came, Olson looked down at his gun. It was out of rounds, the slide back and steam rising from the exposed barrel. He dropped an empty magazine and fumbled in his jacket, found another full magazine, and slammed it into the handle. Then he released the slide. Sending a round into the chamber, the hammer cocked and rose up from behind the snowmobile. Slowly, he stepped through the squeaky snow, his gun pointed toward the Soviets. But they were all down, their bodies merely white lumps in the snowy glacier, spots of red seeping through the white. His eyes reluctantly went down and saw Korkala lying face down. Olson knelt down and touched the side of Korkala's neck. No pulse,